Hi, hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is Neema, and this is Here is Neema, where we talk about all things fashion, beauty, lifestyle, feminine essence, feminine energy, simple luxuries, self-love, and development. So if any of that is up your alley, definitely make sure to like and subscribe and all that jazz. I am excited to be sharing the topic and the content that I'm sharing in this video today. Okay? It's something that's very near and dear to my heart. Guys, the importance of going out alone. Why you should be going out alone. Why you should feel okay and feel content and feel safe and feel happy and feel okay with going out alone. Now, this is a channel for women. I really feel that men do not have as big of an issue with this as we do. Men really do not have any problems going places alone. However, I feel like as women, you know, we do have a lot of hang-ups and a lot of fear surrounding just being able to go places alone. You know, from the time we were little, we're told, make sure that you always have a friend with you, you know, make sure that you're not going out late at night and stay safe, and don't do this and don't do that because you need to stay safe. And I think that has actually put a lot of fear, instilled a lot of fear in us as women, even up into adulthood. When we are grown and we can do whatever the heck we want, we're still afraid, you know, afraid to travel, afraid to go out and eat by ourselves, afraid to go, you know, certain places alone. And all of that fear, it's just holding us back. Because at the end of the day, whenever you leave your house, you're taking a risk. Whenever you get into a car, you're taking a risk. Whenever you just get up in the morning, literally walking around your house, I'm sure you're taking a risk. When you decide you're gonna cook dinner and cut something up with a knife, you're taking a risk. You know what I mean? So I feel like a lot of this fear that we tend to have as women is it's in us. You know, we're born with it, and genetically speaking, and you know, if you look at the history of human beings, it's there, and it's there for a reason, and it's healthy. But in today's modern day and time, we do not need to be afraid. Okay, I just want to disclaim this entire video by saying we do not need to be afraid. What I am speaking of in this video is feeling okay and feeling safe to go out alone. And I personally do it all the time, and for the most part, I will say I do feel safe. Have there ever been moments where I do feel a little bit scared or unsafe, or, you know, maybe I shouldn't have done this, or maybe I shouldn't have gone, you know, and parked here or something like this, gone into this place? Honestly, I'm going to say 95% of the time, no. But I have had moments like that, of course, in my life. I think we all have. But like, I'm safe. Thank God I have not had any traumatic experiences. And I am definitely an advocate for it, staying safe. However, I do want us to be able to get out of this idea that we can't go out alone, that we can't do certain things alone, that we can't travel alone, and that we can't, I guess, kind of feel that, that independence of just being able to do things by ourselves, you know, always needing to have a friend with you, or always needing to have a partner with you. You know, I knew girls like that in college that couldn't even go to the grocery store by themselves. They always had to have a friend with them everywhere they went, or they always had to have someone with them every single place that they went. And for me, I just felt like that's such a crippling way to live. Even when I was in college, I loved taking myself to the movies. That was like my thing. I loved going to the $2.50 movie theater back when it was still around. That place is like long gone now. But in my city, we had a $2.50 movie theater, and they used to play kind of like old movies when they were in the theaters, and then they kind of were like a little bit old, so they would kind of trickle down to that theater. And that was like my jam when I was in college. I would set myself up. I would go to Target, get my little snacks, you know what I'm saying? And just go to the movies and just have a field day. So, you know, that was kind of like little things that I would do going out alone. I would usually, if I was going to eat alone, I would get takeout and like take it home with me. I never really felt comfortable like sitting down at a restaurant and eating alone because I just didn't know how. I didn't know how people did it. I didn't know, what it was like, really. So if I was gonna go out to a restaurant or something like that, it was usually with friends. If not, I would do like the whole takeout thing, and I still do that now. The difference between then and now is that when I lived abroad, I had no choice. If I wanted to go, like, not that I didn't go out with friends or that I didn't go out, with like people, to go eat places or have experiences or things like that. It's just that when you are an expat and you've traveled to a country by yourself, you don't have like any family around. And even if you do have family around, you may not always have somebody to go with wherever you're going. You just may not have a friend, you may not have a partner, you may not have somebody to do whatever it is, the thing that you're wanting to do. So, for me, I had to become really comfortable with just being okay being alone and going places by myself. So I went traveling around the country by myself. I went out to eat by myself all the time, and I started to love it. I went to the spa by myself. And not to be like, I didn't go these places with friends as well, because I did, but I never let it hold me back. If I didn't have somebody to go with me, I never let that hold me back from choosing to go anyways. And that was such a freeing feeling, because I felt like this is so, like, I don't need anybody to do anything that I want to do. It's like, I've got money, I have, my 2 arms, my 2 legs, my 2 eyes, and I can do it. I can do it, and I will do it, and I want to do it, and I can do it, and that's all I need to know. And it was such a freeing feeling. And you guys know that we do talk about being in your feminine and living life authentically here on this channel. And I think that often kind of gets misconstrued with the whole independent woman movement. And I feel like we've kind of lost the idea, or not even lost the idea, lost the, I guess, what we have come to know, the word independent and what it actually means. And if you are a single woman or even just a single person, of course you have to be independent in your life, okay? You cannot depend on someone to wipe your butt for you, okay? You have to learn to use the bathroom on your own and wipe your own butt. You know what I mean? Like, we all practice levels of independence. We have to. We are independent beings. But at the same time, when it comes to relationships, like, because this is what I have a problem with the whole independent movement. For me, I am a single woman at this time. I don't have any kids. I don't have a husband. So I am single. So yes, I am independent. Okay. I am independent. I can do what I choose to do. I don't have to look around and make sure everything's good, with somebody else or some other people or some, if I had a family, right? Can't just get up and go and do whatever. Got to make sure my family's good, right? That's the whole idea. So I don't have that. So I am independent, okay? I have to be. I mean, duh. That comes with the territory. If you look at the word independent and what it actually means, that's what it means. Like, you are a sole person who is, creating a life for yourself on your own terms because you are independent. And that is what, you're not depending on any one thing necessarily to be able to do what you do. And I'm saying this, very loosely. I'm talking about people, Of course, we depend on things. Of course, we depend on our chairs to sit upright. We depend on our jobs to pay us on time. But you get what I'm saying, okay? As far as people and relationships go. All right. Then, and the problem that I have with the word independent and the way that the feminist movement, the feminine energy movement, and like all these different movements about women and feminism and femininity and all of these things have kind of intertwined, and how we've kind of come to discuss this topic is making independence seem like it's a bad thing. And it's not a bad thing. We need it. We've always needed it. And that's one thing that we can be grateful for feminism that feminism gave us the opportunity to be able to be more independent, especially if we needed to be. Like in my situation, I need to be, right? But however, if I'm married, right, I actually have a husband, I don't feel that I need to necessarily be independent. Like, I think it's so messed up. It's like we're women and we're in the 21st century, and now like we need to be independent no matter what, and we need to show our men that we're independent. But like, what's the point of having a husband if you can't depend on them? You know what I mean? So it's really, really twisted up right now. I think all that being said, and I know I went off on a little tangent, all that being said, independence is not a bad thing. Being able to do things on your own is not a bad thing, especially if you are on your own, if you are alone. And not to say that you can't, go places by yourself if you're married. Of course you can. You're not with your husband 24/7 a day, 24/7, I am assuming. Or your partner 24/7, I am assuming. So of course, we're all individuals and we're all going to need to practice certain levels of independence. However, I do feel like it has been misconstrued. And I do feel like independence is a good thing. And it is a great thing if you can get yourself to that point where you're able to go places on your own. You're able to do things by yourself and you don't feel weird and you don't feel scared and you don't feel bad about it. You can do it and you're confident and you know what you're doing and you can rock it out, okay? I also want to say, guys, along with everything that I've said that's been life-changing, of course, just being able to have this freedom and just not feeling any type of way and just being able to feel comfortable going out alone, I want to say that I love the idea of the solo date, and just kind of maybe however often you feel like you want to do it, like taking yourself on like a solo date. Miss Liz Hart, who I love her channel, she mentioned this in a recent video that she had up, and she talks about, and now she's a mother of 2 and she's married, but she does a solo date like I think every other week, so like twice a month, when her house cleaners come and they clean her house and she leaves, and she explains the whole thing in the video, and she goes and gets a 1-hour massage, and then she goes out to lunch anywhere that she wants, and she eats by herself with no kids. And I just feel like that right there is a self-care moment. Like, we really needed, for me, I'm like, I needed to stop and like take notes on that moment, because I don't even have kids, but I know that whenever I do have kids, I could definitely see myself doing something like that. Because while you love your family and you love your kids, of course, you do want to also cherish and enjoy that time that you have with yourself, especially if that's something that you did when you were single, like me. I've done a lot of things by myself, and I've grown a lot kind of by myself and done a lot by myself as a single woman. And so I think that is awesome and that is wonderful, and that's kind of something that I feel like to a certain degree I also adopt. I'm going to be sharing with you guys some of the best times and the best ways that I personally like to do my version of a solo date. Miss Liz Hart's idea of the massage and the going out to lunch, love it. I'm probably going to steal it and like start doing that too. But I do love to go out to eat and definitely treat myself to lunches and dinners. I say during the week is the best time to go. Now, some of the benefits to going out alone and doing kind of the solo date thing is sitting at the bar where other people are going to eat and dine alone, and being able to meet people that way. Okay, so that is kind of almost like a no-brainer. It's a little bit awkward maybe when you get a table for yourself and there's nobody else joining you. It's just like a little bit awkward. So I personally would always rather sit at the bar. I feel like if this is your first time ever trying anything like this, definitely going on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday night and just sitting at the bar, even a Monday night. I'd say Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays are pretty safe. You're usually going to not find as much of a busy crowd in a lot of places, and you are going to get really good service, and probably find that there are a lot of specials, because restaurants typically have specials a lot more during the week than they do on the weekend, because they want to drive in business during the week when people aren't really like trying to go out to eat as much as they do on the weekends. Okay, So that's a really good point. And the more you do it, the more places you go, the more that you become, I guess, a familiar face, okay? And when the bartenders know you and the waiters know you, it's also kind of nice because they can help you out and they can kind of, you know, they can treat you really well. Let's just put it that way, right? Like they may give you a little deal here or there, or a little free something, or, you know, something like that. So that's also a benefit, a perk, if you will. That is kind of my best tip for going out alone when it comes to dining. However, there are a lot of things that you can do by yourself. I personally, I love to solo travel. I work out by myself. I never was like a workout partner person. I feel like that can even be a solo date, depending on what you do. Going out for walks by yourself, going out for picnics by yourself. All of these things are kind of easy ways for you to kind of start transitioning. Oh, and the movies too. Going to the movies, brilliant solo date idea, brilliant. Going to the movies by yourself, like doing all of these things to kind of like help yourself get used to enjoying being alone and enjoying being in your own company. And it is a positive thing. A lot of people do not enjoy being in their own company. They start to feel lonely and they start to feel sad and they start to feel like really, really negative emotions. And there is absolutely nothing negative about it. I am a full believer that you should never let it hold you back if you don't feel, not even that you don't have anybody to go places with you, but maybe you don't feel like inviting them. Like I have absolutely rather have gone places alone or not at all than have gone with certain friends or certain family members, or I like wishing that I didn't include them in my endeavors. And I think that I've become a lot more conscious of that. That's all for this video. I hope that it blessed you. I hope that it helped you. I hope that it encouraged you. And I want to hear down in the comments of some different times that you went out alone. What happened? How did you feel? Were you comfortable? Were you uncomfortable? Do you like doing it? Why don't you if you don't? And if you're interested in kind of trying to kind of start this as like a new little habit, doing the solo dates in 2022, or whenever you're watching this, definitely leave a comment down below and tell me how it goes. I feel like it may take like a little getting used to, but we have so many things nowadays to distract us. You can literally bring a book with you. You can bring your phone, you can bring your AirPods. Like you can be in another world if you want before you kind of get comfortable just like sitting and observing the environment, because that's also really fun too. And just being able to engage in conversation with people, even if it's just the bartender. So there's so many benefits to practicing going out alone and doing things by yourself, and definitely a really great practice for anybody who is on a self-love journey. I absolutely recommend that you take this on as homework and do it, and let me know your results down in the comments below. All right, guys, I love you, and I'm going to see you in the next video. Have a great week. Be true to you. Bye-bye.